Turn it on. We got to work on Ned James' microphone. He's joining us remotely this morning. We'll get that figured out. But what we saw last night was the Lake Show in full effect in the fourth quarter. And it started with Anthony Davis. It started with LeBron James. And they were running, they were gunning, and they had the Celtics on their heels.
Kenny Williams knocked away. Third block by Westbrook. Brown lost the ball. Westbrook at the other end.
Kevin Harlan on TNT. Westbrook steal dunk. It's 105-93, 4:46 left in the fourth quarter. But final possession, Jason Tatum guarded by LeBron James. And oh, was it beautiful for Jason Tatum.
Against James. Tatum with the 10. That is straight butter.
Straight butter from Jason Tatum, sending the game to overtime. And it's rare that we see a regular season contest of that caliber that catches your attention. But with the names involved, Jason Tatum, 44 points. Anthony Davis. Now, Anthony Davis looks like a dude that had his heart broken and he locked himself in the gym all summer long because he has looked like a different guy this season. You look at his stat lines, just the points, rebounds, efficiency. This is scratching the surface of the player that we call, at times, he was one of the top 5 players in the game. Is he top 5 player right now? No. But he's showing you that he can still be one of the best players in the NBA. But even with all that said, you got every ounce out of Anthony Davis, 46 minutes on the floor. LeBron James played 43 minutes. Russell Westbrook, 35 minutes. And you lost. And if you're the Lakers, how much longer can you keep going until you start maybe looking at one of those trades? Until you end up calling the Indiana Pacers for Miles Turner and Buddy Hield? That's where you're at. You got to figure out how to maximize the next 2 seasons. LeBron looked pretty good last night. Now, the shot at the end, not great. Settling for a 3-point shot. It was just 3-11 from 3. We know he's not a 3-point shooter. For the Boston Celtics, this was a road trip in which they started destroying the Phoenix Suns. Last Thursday night game? When was that? It's been a minute. They destroyed the Suns in that game. And then they lost to the Warriors. They lost to the Clippers. And they're sitting there looking at blowing a lead to the Lakers. They didn't want to leave the West Coast with another dub when they've been one of the best teams in basketball, trying to have the best offensive efficiency in the game. But last night, I showed you that the Lakers' best is not good enough. Even with Anthony Davis playing pretty much at the best level he can play at right now. With LeBron James giving you a throwback game at 39 years old, it's still not good enough to get it done. And the Celtics looked at themselves and said, we just blew a 20-point lead. We're not letting that happen again. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, big-time playmakers down the stretch. Try it one more time. You with us, Ned? He's not with us yet. It might be. That should have nothing to do with the clean feed. We'll get this figured out with what's going on. Don't you worry, Ned. We'll get you in here. We'll get this figured out. Ned James joining us, obviously not in studio this morning, so we'll get this all figured out for you and get him in because he's back visiting family too in Los Angeles. And we look at what we saw last night for the Los Angeles Lakers. That just might be the moment that pushes them towards just doing something with this roster, because you got the best out of everyone down this stretch. You started bad, finished good, and they were just done in overtime. Legs were dead, nowhere else to go, settling for jumpers. They're not a jump shooting team. Boston Celtics are. They hit their 3-point shots late. They hit their 3-point shots in overtime. And it was a 122-118 victory for the Celtics that just highlighted where both these teams are at right now. Boston, 22-7 overall, still on pace to have one of the best offenses we've seen in NBA history. And the Lakers just left searching for something. 505-246 0610 is the 377 Brewery hotline this morning. You can also send your text messages in there as well. Also highlighted last night, Milwaukee and Golden State. The Bucks at home beating the Warriors 128-111. But the story of that game really was Draymond Green getting into it with the fan. And he had a fan thrown out in Tuesday night's game in Milwaukee. Giannis lined up for a free throw with 6:30 left in the third quarter of the Bucks win. A fan starts going after Draymond Green, and according to the Warriors forward, the fan was threatening his life. And these dudes take a lot of ish. Y'all throw a lot of ish at these guys, but I guess that was something that caught Draymond's attention. If you want to threaten his life, apparently I don't know what you're going to be doing there, but that will get you kicked out of any arena in the United States if you go along those lines. Instead of just talking about maybe his socks or his jump shot, you're going to start threatening Draymond Green there. But it was a game which highlights the road struggles for the Golden State Warriors. There's 2-12 on the road this season. Steph Curry was playing. Klay Thompson was playing. Jordan Poole was in the starting lineup. They had their dudes on the floor. And Giannis, Chris Middleton, Grayson Allen scored in double figures. Bobby Portis had a huge game, 25 points off the bench. And at some point in time, you got to start sounding the alarm bells for the Golden State Warriors. Even when you see them play their best like they did Saturday night, beating the Boston Celtics at home. But you're 2-12 away from Golden State. That's going to start to put you in a hole that it's going to be too hard to overcome. Because right now, the Golden State Warriors, it's 20.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am an Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
So we approach the halfway point of the second half. Penny Hashigan's behind the defense now. A chance to knot this. It's a 2-goal game as Penny Hashigan gets a beauty from her sister Maddie Hashigan. Young, here's one up off the rim. Jarek Dudahl with that shot, and Mask underneath. Defense is not there in time. Good move by Justin Mask.
Well, Bert. Nice pass. That's working that flex offense right there. And there's another timeout for Coach Bardella.
NFL Week kicks off tomorrow night. San Francisco at Seattle. Brock Purdy missed practice, a little banged up. The rookie sensation coming off the 49ers victory over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy, comes in, also becomes the first rookie quarterback to beat Tom Brady. Now he's looking to win a road division game at San Francisco at Seattle. 49ers 3-point favorites in this one tomorrow night. Seahawks in bounce back mode after getting beat by the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers ran up and down the field on Seattle this past Sunday, and the Seahawks are smack right there in the middle of a heated NFC wild card race. But the one team, we're looking at the AFC, we're looking at the NFC, that is in prime position to grab a spot, win a game in the playoffs, is a team that no one believes in. It's opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal. JJ Buck, Amory working hard. We're going to try to get Ned James in here. Sometimes that's what happens, man. You're on location, you have some technical difficulties, and producers got to produce. Putting in the work this morning. So what team am I talking about? Oh, it's Jeff Simbietta's favorite team. Well, he likes when they don't do well. It is the Los Angeles Chargers. And right now, they're just outside of the playoff picture due to some tiebreakers. And this is, I think, record within the conference. And the New England Patriots are sitting at 7-6. They have a better win percentage by one game. They're 5-3. In AFC games, the Chargers are 5-4. And so that's why you look at this group of 7-6 teams: the Patriots, the Chargers, the New York Jets, which Patriots have the head-to-head tiebreaker over the Jets right now. But the Los Angeles Chargers are in prime position to finish the season with a playoff berth and then potentially win a game. Because this is Justin Herbert's season. Justin Herbert has Keenan Allen back. Mike Williams was back in the lineup. Keep your fingers crossed, Charger fans, knock on wood, that his ankle injury doesn't flare up. You know, Austin Eckler has done this season. And they played a pretty darn good defense game against the Miami Dolphins on Sunday Night Football. Still banged up at certain places. Derwin James didn't play. We know Joey Bosa's been out of the lineup. And they made the Dolphins look not so explosive. It was one thing when you watched the San Francisco 49ers do it to the Dolphins the prior week, but then it's the Chargers that come in there and play defense like that. And one of the touchdowns they gave up was a fluke rugby scrum fumble that Tyreek Hill picked up and ran to the house. The time is now for the Chargers. Why is that? Look at their schedule. They get the paper tiger. When are you going to be good, Tennessee Titans? They're at Jeff Saturday's Indianapolis Colts. They play we're looking at the future, Baker Mayfield's our favorite quarterback, Los Angeles Rams. And will Nathaniel Hackett still have a job, Denver Broncos, to finish up the regular season? That schedule is cake. That schedule screams playoff team for the Los Angeles Chargers, whatever you feel about Brandon Staley. The hype around Justin Herbert is real because he has the talent to back it up. But now that offense has to be consistent over that stretch. Tennessee just gave up a boatload of yards in the air to Trevor Lawrence. Justin Herbert can do that going downfield. The Colts, well, we've watched that roller coaster this entire season. The Rams are playing for next year. Broncos, people are just playing to hopefully still have a job next season. The one team you're looking at, it's the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, in the wild card race, Miami, they're in big bounce back mode. They're 8-5, so they're a game ahead of these 7-6 teams. But the Miami Dolphins, they still had outside hopes of running down the Buffalo Bills, because Buffalo's just 2-2 in the division. Dolphins are 2-1, and Saturday we get Miami and Buffalo. Miami won the first meeting, 21-19. But Mike McDaniel, Tua Tagovailoa, they're in reset mode because the league has adjusted to them. The last 2 weeks, the Chargers, without the same level of defensive talent, took the 49ers game plan and executed it against the Miami Dolphins. And this is the league. It's week to week. It's what little things can you tweak in your scheme. It's how you're going to execute against what you know is coming. There's not a lot of surprises at this point in time in the NFL season. What have we heard coming out of Miami? The press coverage. The Chargers head coach Brandon Staley said he was surprised that teams are not pressing the Dolphins more. Part of that, you're scared of the speed. You don't want to be up there on the line of scrimmage and then, boop, Tyreek Hill. Well, there's 60-yard touchdown. But you put a little bit of pressure on those wide receivers. You get Tua off his mark, and he's looked a little bit shaky. This is a huge, huge weekend for Tua and the Miami Dolphins. Because we love what we see out of Miami. They were exciting. They're fun. They're explosive. Mike McDaniel coming in. Like, that's still a good team, but now it's all right. You have to somehow end this streak, but you got to do it against Buffalo. Because they could go from trying to chase down a division title, because it's right there in front of them. They got Buffalo, New England, and the Jets. 3 of their last 4. Packers are sprinkled in there. They have a chance to win the division. But all three of those games are on the road. You're coming in with a giant question mark offensively, figuring out if you can adjust now that teams have adjusted to you at this point in the season. Another team in the AFC wildcard spot, the Cincinnati Bengals. And I think they're going to end up winning the division. It is going to be tough for Baltimore. Still without Lamar Jackson, the PCL sprain, their backup quarterback trying to come out of concussion protocol. So you could be looking at Anthony Brown, an undrafted third-string quarterback, who came in and held on to get the win over the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're at Cleveland. They play Atlanta. They play Pittsburgh. And they finish up at Cincinnati. Those are two 9-4 teams. The Bengals, they're going the right direction. Baltimore, they're going the wrong way. I think Baltimore ends up being a wild card team. Cincinnati ends up winning that division. And then you're left looking at the New York Jets and the New England Patriots. For the Patriots, they're at Las Vegas. They play Cincinnati. They play Miami. And they're at Buffalo. For the New York Jets, their stretch to end the season. We know it starts with a huge playoff-like game this weekend. They have the Lions, they have the Jaguars, at the Seahawks, and at the Dolphins. So I go advantage Jets in that situation. However, I think the Chargers are going to win out. And so if you're the New York Jets, the team you're looking at is two teams. It is Baltimore and it is Miami. And if Baltimore goes on a skid, drops all the way out, that opens the door. And you have your opportunities against Miami Dolphins. Like this wild card race starting this weekend, it is great. That's just the AFC. And the NFC, we're looking at Sunday Night Football. And yes, Commanders, Giants, got to be excited coming off that tie. But that tie right now is giving life to the New York Giants. But the one team that it's right there in front of, and yes, they've been made fun of. They've missed their opportunities. They got to get it done right now. It is the Los Angeles Chargers. They have the easiest schedule. They have the dude that it's time to step up and take total control of the games offensively in Justin Herbert. And I'll put them in good position to be someone you do not want to see in the first round of the playoffs. 505-246-0610, a 377 Brewery hotline, and the text line this morning. It is opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
In the mood for all your favorite Christmas classics and
Young, here's one up off the rim. Jarek Dudahl with that shot, and Mask underneath. Defense is not there in time. Good move by Justin Mask.
Well, first. Nice pass. That's working that flex offense right there. And there's another timeout for Coach Bardella.
Montez scans the seam, finds the corner, shot is up. Ooh, there's another one. Aris, that's 9 for Aris as she's hit.
Hey, Coach Segura said there have been some injuries on preps as far as the players, so maybe playing zone right now.
Fights 3 is good. Jackson Fight knocks it down from the left side for the Sun Devils. They lead by 10.
They're playing.
The perfect 36 on his ACT composite. Big 3! Buried in by Dylan McCleskey.
Trifectas of her own. Fires it off down low. Campos off the glass, and there it is.
Quick this shot, they got a shot up with 5 seconds. Transition 3's up, and it's hit at the buzzer by Ian Tolingsberg.
picture perfect execution. Ball that hit the ground in 5 seconds.
Ball is stolen away by Montoya. Sartans are on the break. Kalb finds Trujillo. Pump fake. Trujillo was rejected by Terrell. Rebounded by Kalb. Hook shot is up. It's good. 2 points for Brian Kalb.
Go one-on-one, and this is good things usually happen. Oh, great.
H.J. Rivera.
I think the story in this one is the pressure defense that has turned up. They force another turnover. Kalb's on the break.
Throw it down.
Kalb puts it down. Brian Kalb with the dunk in transition.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best.
We all want something. Holiday season. Send your Christmas list to Santa. Dear Santa, I would like Army men, Legos, a competent head football coach for a football team. We all want something. A championship, whatever it may be. Sometimes it's just that, a rumor. It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. JJ Buck, Ned James.
Ned James!
He opened up his Zoom again. He can't be on Zoom. You got to tell him he can't be on this is a Zoom feed. He's got to have a separate screen for that as we figure that out. It's opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. Yesterday, ESPN's Adam Rittenberg put out a tweet. Might have flown under the radar for a lot of people. but not those of you hoping that Lobo football can turn it around. Adam Rittenberg, ESPN reporter, said, source, New Mexico defensive coordinator Rocky Long has emerged as a target for Syracuse's defensive coordinator vacancy. No deal is in place, but Syracuse wants to keep the 3-3-5 defensive structure after Tony White's departure. I know Rocky Long, big proponent of the 3-3-5 defense, developing that scheme. Defensive coaches all across the country, college football, using elements of that. And that's why I say we can all want something. It could be on a list. It could be on a wish list. The percentage, the chances that Rocky Long leaves the University of New Mexico to take the Syracuse defensive coordinator job are really small. It doesn't make sense. Say, yeah, Syracuse can pay Rocky Long more. Everyone wants more money. Look at Carlos Correa. Xander Bogaerts. Everyone wants more money. We're guaranteed part of time. But where Rocky Long is out in his career, the decision he made to step down as head coach at San Diego State and come to UNM, be a defensive coordinator, help out Rocky Long. He'd still, be a defensive coordinator. All the talk was he just didn't want to be doing all the head coach stuff anymore. But I think that the percentage that Rocky Long would leave the Lobos for Syracuse is so small. Because it's one thing when you get your cold New Mexico mornings and the occasional snow. It's different in Syracuse. And Rocky Long is also about lifestyle right now, where he is at in his career. And he is comfortable in Albuquerque. And our guy, Ned James, knows a little bit about coaching a lifestyle. And Rocky Long leaving New Mexico, I know when you saw this, Ned, your first instinct was like, no, that wouldn't happen. As this is a disaster this morning, trying to get Ned James on the air. But I know there were some people that started to see that. It really did fly under the radar. Just with all the other news that was going on. Of course, the focus yesterday in the college football world, and rightfully so, was on Mike Leach and his impact on college football, and talking about schemes in the air raid offense and bringing it to the forefront of something we're talking about. And offenses, open schemes, people are really crediting Mike Leach with so much development in the spread game in college football. Just a true spread offense, passing game downfield. And so yesterday, looking at Mike Leach and all the impact he had, his coaching tree, his incredible rants that made him a legend on and off the field. But when it comes to defensive schemes, Rocky Long, that 3-3-5 defense, what he's done, so many people have taken from that. He's kind of become the godfather of that scheme, 3-3-5 defense. And I think Rocky's comfortable. We've obviously seen the defense take a step forward this season for the Lobos. Now, when we're talking about the entire team and what we saw or what we didn't see from them offensively this season, and then you're looking at a defense that has to pretty much go out there and get a shutout every single week when the final stretch of the season your offense is averaging 9 points per game, it's not going to look good at times. But scheme-wise, what they've done defensively, they're set. And that is with Rocky Long. Now it's college football free agency season, and you can have great coaches, you can have great schemes, but this is a year-to-year business now. And the Lobos lost their best promising young secondary player, A.J. Halsey, for now, because he's in the
Can you hear me now?
portal. Could he come back? Sure.
You can hear me on my mic? Yeah. Okay.
Ronald Wilson, a sophomore cornerback, goes in. It's a challenge. Let's try it one more time.
Okay, you got me, JJ.
Ned James, what's up, man? How are
Hey,
you?
what's up, man? We got it fixed eventually.
No worries. It's It's a lot
Hey,
going
it's better
on.
late than ever.
You're on location this morning, but we were just talking about that tweet I sent you, and we all want something. And the rumor mill is going to be going crazy this time of year with college football. It's free agency for the players, free agency for the coaches. The percentage that Rocky Long would take the Syracuse defensive coordinator job, I got to believe it's a small percentage.
Yeah, it is a really small percentage, I would think. I don't know if his wife Debbie's going to want to go and live in the snow. And, I was born in Syracuse, upstate New York. So, I could tell you they're taking a rope from the dorms to the athletic facility to get there in the wintertime because, you might get caught up in a snowdrift. And I don't know if Rocky's really prepared. He's never left the West Coast other than being down south. And, well, he was in Minnesota for a little while, but I don't know if he's prepared to go back there at the age of 70 and go back east and do that. But you never know. I think Rocky's loyal to this place here at the University of New Mexico. I think he still wants to see this become what it can become, a winner. And I don't see him leaving. I know there's a lot of coaches that would love to have Rocky. I talked to Dino Babers, who's the head coach there. Actually, I tried to help one of our volleyball players get an internship there this past summer. So I've talked to Dino a couple times. Dino Babers is the head coach at Syracuse. And they have a history because Dino's from, all this is crossover. All of us old timers, we're all crossing over each other. And I say old timers because I am getting old. Dino is from San Diego. And he was a graduate assistant at Arizona State with Mike Martz and Lovie Smith and all those guys. I took his job when he left and went to, I think he went to Bowling Green, and I became a GA. This is in the 80s, so, a lot of people are thinking, man, that's a long time ago. And so Dino and I go back 30 years. I've known Dino a long time. Danny and those guys, he wishes all of them well. I talked to him a little bit before the season started and talked to Danny and all of them and expressed Dino's wishes that they have a good season. So, a lot of people, they all know each other. I'm sure Dino has a ton of respect for both Danny and Rocky, and I'm sure he would love to have Rocky. I just don't know. They're going to throw a pile of cash. It's not about the money for Rocky in a lot of ways. And so, sometimes, guys just like challenges. And so he may want the challenge, but I seriously doubt it because I think he really does want to see this place become a winner again.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the percentage is pretty small that Rocky Long would leave the Lobos for the Syracuse job. But when that hits the internet, it gets people talking. It's opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. JJ Buck and Ned James with you this morning. 505-246-0610 is a 377 Brewery hotline. So after the end of next segment, we're going to give away a mystery box from All In Autographs. What's in the mystery box? It's a signed jersey in every single box, courtesy of All In Autographs. I'm going to give you some time. I'm going to give you a big hint because we're going to do some trivia this morning. The first question, which will be the end of the hour, we'll give you a little bit of time to look it up. What is the Mountain West record in the New Mexico Bowl? The record of Mountain West teams in the New Mexico Bowl. As we get ready for the 18th New Mexico Bowl this Saturday, BYU and SMU, formerly of the Mountain West Conference, the Cougars and the SMU Mustangs, primetime ABC, Saturday night at 5:30. But the question today, I'm going to give you time to look it up, so don't call yet. That's why I'm giving you a big time hint. The record of Mountain West teams in the New Mexico Bowl. That will be the first trivia question, the end of this hour, to win a mystery box. We'll keep it rolling here. Coming up on the other side, one of the all-time greats is finally in the final, and something happened last night that you do not see much at all because it was only the third time in the history of that sport that this was accomplished by a player. It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
Status. On the pitch, Messi, one named superstars. Got it done. Argentina beats Croatia 3-0 in advance for World Cup final. Messi, one of the greatest players ever. And Alexander Ovechkin, he is still out there getting it done on the ice.
Forecheck, Mantha, centers in front. Kuznetsov had the shot. And there it is, 800. Alexander Ovechkin has done it. And here come the hats and the team.
A hat trick for Alexander Ovechkin last night to record his 800th career goal. He's just the third player in NHL history to score 800 goals. And we've been talking about Alexander Ovechkin for a minute. It used to be Sidney Crosby versus Ovechkin. And all Alex Ovechkin is doing is still out there scoring goals. The hat trick also gave him not just 800, it gave him his 20th goal of the season. And that's 18 consecutive years for the 37-year-old to have 20 or more goals in a season. And at any time you do something for just the third time in a sports history, that's pretty good. That's going to get you attention.
Yeah, that's impressive. You know, it's interesting to me because hockey to me is a north of the Mason-Dixon line sport. The Canadians haven't, you know, even though we've seen some recent history where they're getting a little bit better up north, but I just like to see some of these teams in Canada really kind of push our American teams when we get to the Stanley Cup and when we get to some.
You know, Canadians play on every team, Ned. Not just on the Canadian teams.
I know that, but for the country, of
that's
Canada,
why those other teams are pretty good.
I know, and there's also these Europeans and you know the
all over the place,
all over the world, yeah. But for some reason, I guess because I played in the Canadian Football League, I know Rocky played in the Canadian. When you're up there in Canada, you know the kids come out to practices and watch you practice there in the spring, and when you get out of practice, they ask for autographs, but they only ask for autographs if you can give them autographs of the Canadian hockey players. They say, can you get Guy Lafleur's autograph for us? We'll take yours, but if you could get Guy Lafleur's, we'd really like it. So that's why I just have a soft heart for the kids in Canada who really love and enjoy. And I was in Minnesota when I was coaching in Minnesota when the Minnesota North Stars, not the Dallas Stars, were up there, and they were moving. And I just remember people, you know, lining up, laying down in front of the moving vans and the trucks that were moving the
didn't want to let them out of town.
South. Yeah, and so I just would like to see the Canadians get some sort of championship because they just really, really appreciate and love hockey north of the Mason-Dixon line.
Yeah, they love it.
And into Canada.
We all love something. We're all nice at some point in time. You got to put in the work.
Yeah.
Don't blame Tampa Bay for putting in the work. Don't blame the defending champ Colorado Avalanche for putting in the work. That's right.
I am happy for Colorado because it does snow in Colorado. I just cannot see a Stanley Cup in Tampa Bay or Las Vegas. You know, even Los Angeles was a little. Even though I'm from Los Angeles, it was a little. You know, when the Kings won, it was kind of nice, but I kind of felt bad because if you're living in a state where it doesn't even snow.
Who's this person we're talking to this morning?
You cannot have a Stanley Cup and have a Stanley Cup parade in Tampa, Florida.
Yeah, you can because it feels good.
It doesn't.
It's a nice
sound
day
right.
outside.
Yeah, but there's no snow. I mean, you can't. If there's no snow, you should not be allowed to have a Stanley Cup. That's just my opinion. That's just an old man get off my grass opinion.
Ned James wants Canada teams to be great in the NHL. Again, we'll work on that. 505-246-0610. It is time for an all-in autographs mystery box. The question is, the Mountain West in the New Mexico Bowl, what is their record? The Mountain West in the New Mexico Bowl. The history overall. The conference record in the New Mexico Bowl. If you can tell Emery that number, that record, you'll get a mystery box from All In Autographs. It is an autographed jersey in every single box. All In Autographs, hooking you up for the holidays. 505-246-0610. The Mountain West record in the New Mexico Bowl. This one ain't easy, but it's getting you a signed jersey. It's worth it. It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports M.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Jeff Cindietta and JJ Buck.
Is it one of the hardest hits you can take when someone says, I'm not mad, I'm disappointed? They're not mad at you. Mom and dad are not mad at you. Coach isn't mad at you. They're disappointed in you. Well, there are some disappointments in the NFL this season. It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the sports animal. JJ Buck, Amory working hard this morning to figure all this out. Our quarterback, Ned James, joining us from Los Angeles, California, on location in LA this morning. But that's the gut punch. When it's, I'm not mad, I am disappointed. And there are some disappointments, and just feel free at any point in time to throw it out there. But as much as we talk about the good, the wild card races in the NFL, there's some big time swing and misses, whether it's from our preseason predictions or just teams and or players that are not living up to the billing at all. And I got to start close to home with our NFL disappointments. And it is Russell Wilson. It is Nathaniel Hackett. And just how poorly those two have worked together this season. That is oil and water. They are not mixing. Russell Wilson, 11 touchdown passes, one of the worst offenses in the NFL. They scored 28 points against Kansas City last week. That was the season high output for the Denver Broncos. It's a new system. You understand it, but it was a veteran quarterback in Russell Wilson that he was supposed to come in and reignite his career. Say, all right, our time was up in Seattle. Let's go. A ready-made defense in Denver. He was supposed to pick up the offense. That wasn't the case. And Nathaniel Hackett has looked lost this season. And you can point at 2 goal line fumbles on Monday Night Football. That should not affect you the entire rest of the way. We're unable to create offense. If we're looking at NFL disappointments, that's where I have to start. The frustration with Russell Wilson and Nathaniel Hackett, because now you're sitting there going, is Nathaniel Hackett even going to be the head coach of this football team next season? And people are done with Russell Wilson.
Now, I know we had some discussion on this during the season, early in the season, while we were doing the pregame shows, and we've had some theories on why we believed the Russell Hackett experiment didn't work. But I've got some theories, and I know you're going to blow my theories up, JJ, but I'm going to give them to you.
Let's hear them.
Okay. We talked earlier this season about, I kept calling him Paul Hackett because I remember his dad, and his dad was a great offensive coordinator. The dad not being there, like the dad is always there in San Francisco with Shanahan. But one of the things I was thinking about the other day, and a lot of people don't realize that this is an issue with athletes, and it's called altitude. Russell Wilson has been playing at sea level in Seattle, and you have a distinct advantage when you're in Seattle. I coached in Seattle. Everybody's got to travel a long way to get to Seattle, and you're at sea level. Now Russell Wilson has had to play in altitude. I don't think he's quite necessarily adjusted. And I know people say, hey, it takes 3 weeks and your body's acclimated to the altitude. But when you're playing at altitude, it's different. I mean, you're gonna feel different. And I know other teams come up there and play and win with all sorts of players, and they're getting beat by guys who have to adjust to the altitude in just a couple of days. But Russell has just been sluggish this year. And I think a lot of it has to do with altitude. Some of it has to do with altitude. Now, I know that this is your one team. I've got a couple other teams that also I think have been disappointments. You know, the Raiders, I thought
That
also
would be next for me.
Okay, and then I also thought the Colts, because I really do like Matt Ryan, and I thought Matt Ryan would really give them a spark in the AFC this year. The NFC teams, I thought the Rams, the Saints, and I thought the Cardinals would be better because of that $230 million quarterback they have. That's a munchkin. But I got to give him a lot of respect, because you don't get that kind of cash unless you're a really talented player, and I just underestimated him. He's one of the few guys that I did underestimate. But I was thinking yesterday just about Russell Wilson and why he's played so bad. And I just know that a lot of guys struggle with altitude. And, you know, we have to get Joe Franklin on here, because I think Joe Franklin has made a career at the University of New Mexico with the benefit of altitude, and just how much altitude affects you and how it can affect play. And quarterback's not that tough a position. I mean, it's just, you know, you're just back there playing quarterback. That's why any old athlete can play quarterback. You don't have to be a great athlete to be a quarterback. But I think because of his style of play, I just see the sluggishness, and it may have a little bit to do with the altitude. Do you buy that?
I could buy it for a month, maybe a month and a half. Yeah. But the offense being so bad the entire season was just so frustrating to watch, even it just as from a football perspective of how bad it was. Nathaniel Hackett, the issues that he had going from the terrible clock management, the poor decisions in week one, you could say, all right, we'll give the young coach a pass, first time head coach, but then he hires a babysitter to help him with clock management. That's frustrating. He ends up having to give up play calling duties throughout the season. So he did not do a lot to earn people's trust and say, all right, let's see what this looks like next season. Let's see if they can get more out of Russell Wilson next year. And you mentioned the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders and Broncos would disappoint me, because we all felt like the AFC West was going to be like what we saw from the NFC East so far this season.
Yeah,
that is it all teams in playoff contention, all teams fighting for a playoff spot, and that has not been the case. And you look at the Raiders and what has this led to? It's led to them potentially moving on from Derek Carr, the quarterback that's been their franchise quarterback for over a decade now. Josh McDaniels, he's going to be back. He's not going to be a one-and-done head coach in Las Vegas, because he has the backing of that ownership group. And so they're not going to admit their mistake, and specifically, Mark Davis just in a year. But when you look at the Las Vegas Raiders, Derek Carr, especially with how good Josh Jacobs has been, Devontae Adams, it goes down to blowing leads. The 4 leads, double digits, it blown in the second half. And then who are you pointing fingers? Because everyone is pointing fingers at that point in time at each other.
Yeah, the Raiders is an interesting situation, because they were loaded this year offensively. You thought, Crosby's played well. He's played pretty good at the defensive end position for the Raiders. That's a tough one. I mean, that just goes to show you that not every coordinator or not every assistant coach is really kind of meant to be a head coach, because head coaching is more culture than it is coaching. You're almost like a CEO more so than you are an X and O person. I know there's some really good X and O guys. I mean, you got to have that background, but at the same time, it doesn't necessarily have to be what qualifies you or makes you a great head coach. And I know you don't like Jeff Fisher, but I always thought Jeff Fisher was one of the best CEOs of an organization. He wasn't the greatest X's and O guy that I've been around. I've been around a lot of X and O guys that were really good coaches, that were head coaches, but he really was great at managing people and managing an organization, and that has a lot to do with it. I think in the case of Josh McDaniels, the culture of the New England Cheaters, I think, was really, really beneficial for him. And it's made his career, it's made him a lot of money. I think what Bill Belichick has done with the New England Cheaters is probably one of the greatest, and a lot of people don't give him enough credit for what he has done with that organization, with basically telling you, look, I'm the head coach in New England, but I'm the head coach of the offense, defense, and special teams.
His offense hasn't been great. recently.
His offense is in the playoffs with a second-year quarterback. And you can say whatever you want.
Right.
You can say he's going against multimillionaires that are defensive coordinators on all these other teams. And they've got, hey, look, I'm the offensive coordinator. I'm the head coach. I'm the defensive coordinator. I'm the special teams coordinator. He's pointing it at himself. Look, I can put Joe and Schmo at offensive coordinator, and we could still win 7 NFL games and be in the wild card hunt and in the playoffs with a second-year quarterback. And that says a lot. I mean, that says a lot about Bill Belichick and the New England Cheaters. I love the fact that he's been able to show people that, look, it's offense. It's not calculus. It's not advanced, neuroscience or anything. We could put plays together, and the plays just didn't work today. That's why we lost. The plays worked today. That's why we won. He's able to manage the game, the entire game, instead of just one side of the ball, which he is a genius at on the defensive side of the ball, Bill Belichick. But it's really great to see that it's the culture of what he's doing in New England that can win you some games. And these cultures in Denver and in Oakland, or Las Vegas, I should say, with the Raiders, are just not working.
NFL disappointments. What do you got? Throwing some names out there. We're breaking them down. Of course, half of the AFC West.
Yes.
We look at the Broncos and the Raiders. The Indianapolis Colts, I'm with you on that one because I thought Matt Ryan was going to be the perfect caretaker for this offense, to be that team that's defensive first, run the football at Jonathan Taylor, go out there, win a weak division. That didn't happen. Frank Reich got fired. Jeff Saturday has taken over. So those are some standout disappointments for me in the AFC. We're on the same page. Just the Rams, I didn't think they would repeat, but I thought they'd be a playoff football team this season. They're far from that. Now they're at the Baker Mayfield train.
That's a culture thing with me, with McVay. That's a culture thing. Yes, he's got to be the head coach of defense and special teams too. You're not just the offensive, guy. All of a sudden, hey, my quarterback's down. That's why my team's not winning because my quarterback. No, you got to find a way to win. It doesn't matter that you don't have the trophy quarterback that you got from Detroit. You stole from Detroit. Even though I think the guy at Detroit, we won't get into that because I know Marie is still mourning the loss this weekend.
You are the president of the Jared Goff.
I was waiting for this. I know we started off rough.
I'm not going to go there,
but I was waiting. Wait, no, I like Jared Goff, and that's why we wanted you on today. We needed the president of the Jared Goff fan club here, Ned James.
Because I was beat up a year ago about Jared Goff, but that's okay. I don't mind that. I understand. People see things differently. But at the end of the day, I just think that having Stafford there and, gave him, kind of a hall pass. And that's okay. He won a championship. My dad's happy. Everybody's happy in the James household here because the Rams won last season. But I did think, you've got to keep that consistency with these type of teams. They're throwing a lot of money at a lot of people. And a lot of people think he's going to be a great coach in the future. But we'll have to wait and see. I still think, you have to build these coaches, and you're going to start seeing what that Rams culture is and what some of these teams that have been successful in the past and these young guys that are developing their own style and their own coaching, resume. We're going to see if they can build these kind of coaches that can produce winners.
NFL disappointments. You got one. It could be a player. It could be a coach. It could be a team this season. I'll throw it out there for all your fantasy football players. Tight ends. There's one good tight end in the NFL right now when it comes to fantasy football. It is Travis Kelce. And then you got Mark Andrews, who's a flash in pan early. He's still fantastic. But the Ravens offense has struggled. This one is for your fantasy football players. The tight end position. If you did not draft Travis Kelce, or if you're someone that drafted Kyle Pitts like me, it has been a disappointment this season when it comes to fantasy football.
I got one thing. One last thing.
Yeah.
I'll say this again. It's like the Game of Thrones, the series, The Game of Thrones. Winter is coming, and you better pack a running game. You better have a running game as you get towards this last month and going into January. I know people think this is all air Coryell. You got to have a good pass and all that. But if you don't have the running game, you don't run the ball and play good defense, you're going to struggle when it comes to getting into the playoffs and doing something in the playoffs.
505-246-0610, 377 Brewery hotline. There's also the text line. JJ Buck, Amory, and Ned James with you this morning. And speaking of that, Do you have a running game? Who in the NFC playoff race is primed to make a push? We'll tell you next. It's Opening Drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Young, here's one up off the rim. Jarek Dudahl with that shot, and Mask underneath. Defense is not there in time. Good move by Justin Mask.
Well, first.
Nice pass. That's working that flex offense right there. And there's another timeout for Coach Bardella.
Montez scans the scene, finds the corner, shot is up. Ooh, there's another one. Aris, that's 9 for Aris as she's hit.
And Coach Segura said there have been some injuries on preps as far as the players, so maybe he's playing zone right now.
Fights 3 is good. Jackson Fight knocks it down for the left side, from the left side for the Sun Devils. They lead by 10.
They're playing.
A perfect 36 on his ACT composite. Big 3! Buried in by Dylan McCleskey.
Trifectas of her own. Fires it off down low. Campos off the glass, and there it is.
Look how quick this shot. They got a shot up with 5 seconds.
Transition 3's up, and it's hit at the buzzer by Ian Hoingsberg.
Picture perfect execution. Ball it hit the ground in 5 seconds.
Ball is stolen away by Montoya. Sartans are on the break. Calb finds Trujillo. Pump fake. Trujillo was rejected by Terrell. Rebounded by Calb. Hook shot is up. It's good. 2 points for Brian Calb.
Go one-on-one, and this is good things usually have. Oh, great.
H.A. Rivera.
I think the story in this one is the pressure defense that has turned up. They force another turnover. Calb's on the break.
Throw it down.
Calb puts it down. Brian Calb with the dunk in transition.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am an Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited, and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
It was a star-studded night Monday in Los Angeles. I'm wondering if our quarterback, Ned James, if he got the invitation. I'm looking through the photos. I'm trying to see if he's in the background. L.A. Monday night. What are we talking about? Can you believe this, y'all? How old are we? And that's all of us. LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony, they're kids. We're going head-to-head in a high school basketball game. It was Bronny James, Bryce James from Sierra Canyon taking on Kenyon Anthony School. Christ the King in a packed high school gym in Los Angeles on Monday night. We're talking Lala Anthony, of course. Mom out there, Kim, Khloe Kardashian, Scottie Pippen. Just wondering, were you invited to that one, Ned?
No, I didn't get the invitation, but everybody seems to be excited. I have to temper the enthusiasm here that Bronny is the third best guy on his team. So we need to really kind of chill a little bit. I know his dad wants him to come play with the Lakers, but I'm hearing he's the third best guy on that team. So I didn't get the invitation. Movie stars kind of used to that being in LA.
A little crowded with the security at that gym on Monday night.
Yeah, it's a little Hollywoodish. But Los Angeles people, I don't know if New Yorkers are the same, but we don't really get too worked up over the Hollywood types because they're kind of around a little bit, and so we don't get too worked up. But I guess for the TV and for people around the country, it was kind of a big deal to see those type of celebrities out and about.
Yeah, it's kind of a throwback to LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony going head-to-head in high school basketball. That's 20 years ago now. It's been a minute.
Time flies. Time flies.
Our quarterback, Ned James, joining us from Los Angeles this morning. JJ Buck, Amory with you. Shout out to Jerry. He got it right. Our first trivia question of the day. Mountain West is 11-5 in the New Mexico Bowl, or the history of the game. Yeah. That was an all-in-autographs question. We got one more trivia question coming up this morning for an all-in-autographs $25 gift certificate. Jerry got himself that mystery box, but Mountain West done pretty good in the New Mexico Bowl, 11-5 overall. Of course, this Saturday night, 5:30 primetime ABC. It's BYU and SMU. All right, let's dive into the NFC here. The wild card race. Breaking it down. The playoffs essentially are starting this week for a lot of teams. Mm-hmm. And one of those big-time games, it's an AFC wildcard team, the New York Jets. It is the Detroit Lions. Detroit is on a heater right now. Jared Goff has been fantastic. He's not thrown an interception in the last 5 games. That offense is explosive. They're getting more receivers healthy to go along with Amon-Ra, St. Brown. Defensively, Lions ain't great. But we look at the stretch for Detroit. It's the Jets at Carolina, who is, you don't know what Panthers team you're going to get week in and week out, because you can either get the really tough Carolina Panthers team or one that gets you roll over on. The Chicago Bears and at the Green Bay Packers. Almost an elimination game for both teams when you think about it, just the stretch that they need to go on. Detroit 6-7. They are staring up at Washington and New York 7-5-1. We'll start with the Lions, Ned James, and your guy, Jared Goff. Is there enough there? Can they somehow, some way grab a playoff spot in the NFC?
They're close. I don't know if they're going to quite make it. The issue I have with them is defense. The special teams can hold you only so long, but you got to play better defense. I just don't think they have enough, and they're good enough on defense to get them into that wild card spot. That last, offensively, they're talented. They can run the ball. That's what's helped them. Jarrett, tough, smart, competent, hardworking quarterback, I think, which is what I thought, of Baker a little bit. He's just a little shorter. But Jared Goff has really kind of resurrected Detroit from that standpoint. I just don't think they have enough organizationally, particularly defensively. I struggle with their defense to get them, over the hump. A team that's surprising me that I thought would just be awful. That's they got a long shot to get to the wild card. It was Atlanta because they've beat some pretty good teams, but they've got a long way to go as well.
Well, they're going to a rookie quarterback now too. In Denver, the problem for Atlanta is they're 1-3 in the division, and right now their kind of only shot would be a division title. And Tampa Bay's 3-1, despite what we've seen from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. There's 3-1. The Carolina Panthers are 3-1. And as we talk about these teams, Carolina's going to be a team we have to talk about because they're in the playoff race because of that division. That is 3 weeks from now. Carolina and Tampa Bay in Tampa. And the Buccaneers lost that first meeting 21-3.
Yeah.
So Tampa and Carolina are the teams to watch just for the division title there. But I think, as you said, that the 5-8 is too much to overcome.
Too much. Yeah,
in
it's
a
too
wild
much
card
for Atlanta.
race. No, but the tie worked. I don't think we're going to see the Giants and Commanders tie again. So that becomes a must-win football game to go to the postseason. Sunday Night Football, Washington, the New York Giants. I'm leaning the Commanders in this one because of what you said, Ned James, of the running game and defense. I think that they're stronger in those two areas. Saquon Barkley, all of a sudden he's nicked up. He was not 100% against the Philadelphia Eagles when the Eagles blew him out the belt last weekend. And for the Commanders, it's tough 2 weeks. But if they beat the Giants, that gives them an advantage there in that race because then they got to go cross-country to San Francisco. But they get Cleveland and Dallas. And that last week of the season is going to be interesting because when you look at playing Dallas and or Philadelphia late, are the Eagles going to slip up a week or two to where that will be an all-in game in Week 18 where Dallas is playing everyone, Philadelphia is playing everyone. So if Washington wants to be a playoff team, they have to beat the Giants on Sunday because that schedule has two tough games out of the final three games.
And I guess because I don't want Washington to win, that's probably why I'm not really kind of mentioning them. But you're right, though, JJ. I think they're playing well on defense and they're running the ball, which is what you got to do late in the year. You got to be able to do it effectively. And Washington has done that. The Giants are the most disappointing because they were a feel-good story early. They and both the Jets, and they're kind of spiraling in the other direction. I'd like to see the Giants come up with something. Dable has to come up with something to get this team going because they had so much going early, and for that to just all go away, it's tough this time of year. It's just really tough to win games, especially when you're chasing it, when you're trying to, get into the playoffs. It's just really tough. But that's where, you're going to see what these teams are made of, what the cultures are of these teams, what, how if they can squeak out some wins because all these games are tight. It's just going to show the sophistication of your team and your system. Is it able to get you over the hump and get you into a playoff? Because that's what it's all about. It's all about just getting to the playoffs. It doesn't matter how pretty you look. It doesn't matter if Jared Goff's throwing the ball well. It doesn't matter, the Giants that, you had this feel-good story early on. No one cares because if you don't get into the playoffs, you don't get a chance to show. That's why I admire the New England Cheaters so much because you could say whatever you want. Everybody's just beat up on the fact that they think this guy is senile. They think Belichick is senile because he's got a defensive coordinator and special teams guy.
But they're 7-6.
Coordinator. But they're 7-6. And he's telling you, and what he essentially says, if you really listen to him, I did the symposium with him last year, and he really makes a good point when he talks about coaching. He says, you got to put in the work, and he makes his guys work. You're going to know everything there is to know about your opponent when you're working in that building. There are no shortcuts. You have to look at the film. You can't watch it like you're watching cartoons, like you're being entertained. You have to know what you're looking at. You have to know how to teach the fundamentals, how to scheme people, and he's brilliant at it. I mean, he really is, and he's done a great job with this with the staff. He's loyalty is important because you got to trust people when you're running a business and an organization. And most people who are business people who have organizations, and you can have all the talent in the world, but if guys are cutting you behind your back, it's just not going to work. And so I think that's what Belichick is telling people with the hiring of guys that he's comfortable with, and he'll probably get a guy this year that he thinks would work with his system. And I've heard guys who've worked on his staff say all kinds of things about him, but the one thing that you can't say about him is that he's a loser, because he doesn't lose. He wins. Now it may cost him in personality, but he wins.
Talking about the New England Patriots and their terrible offense, but they're 7-6 binding away. We're breaking down the wild card races this morning. Who are you backing? Who are you believing in down the stretch? 4 weeks left in the NFL season. It kicks off tomorrow night in a game that we're going to talk about because it's Brock Purdy. It is the rebound game for Geno Smith, Thursday Night Football. But coming up next, Sebastian Well, ProView Networks, is going to join us, and we'll talk about the packed high school gyms in Albuquerque, around the state of New Mexico. A lot of holiday tournaments were going on. We were able to take some big steps forward on the hardwood. We'll talk with Sebastian Well next. It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This message brought to you by the New Mexico
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
The only thing that could rival Sebastian Noel walking into high school gym would be LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony showing up like they did when their kids were playing back and forth, and people got to experience what it's like when the voice of the people is in your gym and broadcasting your game. It's Opening Drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal, streaming as well on ProView Networks, Comcast Channel 26, and online. JJ Buck, Amory, our quarterback Ned James with you, joined by the voice Sebastian Noel. Sebastian, what's up, man? How you doing?
Well, that was quite an introduction, and kind of you to say. I don't know if I can live up to all that, JJ. You're putting some pressure on me.
Oh, you can live up to it, man. You can definitely live up to it. And before we dive into all the tournaments we saw, I know you were really excited about a game you got to call last Wednesday, a Trisco Heritage Los Lunas 62-59 victory for Trisco Heritage in overtime last week. I don't know if we really got a chance to dive into that game. What was that one like?
Man, it really lived up to the expectations, and for being an early season matchup, it has the feel of a playoff game, right? Because those are two top five matchups. You have, in my opinion, the best player in the state of New Mexico, Jalen Hollins, plays for Los Lunas. You have a really good Trisco team that could be state champs at the end of the year. They have one of the best defenders in the state in Marquise Renfro. Those kids are actually pretty close friends. They're similar in size. I think Jalen's got a couple inches on him height-wise, but Marquise can certainly hold his own. So those two kids were going at it all night. I mean, they were guarding each other, and they were going off offensively, and it was just a lot of fun to watch. And but Trisco did pull out the win, though, and the Jaguars are putting together a nice early season with some really nice wins. A couple of them in overtime, a couple of them where they were missing one or two of their three main guys because the cold and flu season has really ripped through their roster. So the Trisco's off to a great start, but yeah, that game was something else.
And before we get into the teams that won the tournaments we saw over the weekend, is there a player, is there a team that impressed you that wasn't the winner at the very end?
Well, let's start on the girls' side. I think Farmington, the girls dropped a close one to Volcano Vista. Credit Volcano Vista for, pulling it out, and obviously they lost all that talent to UNM through graduation, but they're still right there. Well, Farmington's got three sisters on that team that can really, really play. The fourth sister was actually in the state that night playing against New Mexico Highlands for Fort Lewis, so it's a very talented household there. That could be a championship game preview. Now, I think there'll be a couple of teams that might have something to say about that, including the Sandia girls. Albuquerque High's gotten off to a magical start, but that Farmington girls team, they're always fun to watch. And they didn't win that tournament, but they were really good.
Talking with Sebastian Well, ProView Networks, joining us here on the opening drive. And we look at some of those standout games. Elijah Brody, we talked about him, football season, what he did coming in at West Mesa, where the dude is also balling out on the court as they were victorious in overtime at Cleveland. West Mesa beat Cleveland 66-63 in the Phil Griego Invitational title game. How big is that?
That's a nice win. I know it meant a lot personally for Coach Schreier because him and Phil Griego were pretty close friends. But he's got a good team. This is a good team. This might be the best offensive team Coach Schreier's had at West Mesa in his 20 years there. Now, and he loves Elijah Brody. He says he's probably the best passer he's ever coached, which is saying a lot because he's had some good guards. He's also coached both of his sons, which are really good point guards. The sky's the limit for that team, and if they shoot it well, there's not a team they can't beat. If they don't shoot it well, they really rely on the three. If they don't shoot it well, I don't know if there's a plan B for West Mesa, right? But if they're hitting some outside shots, they're going to play with anybody.
And look at Class 5A right now, too. Volcano Vista, Trisco Heritage, Sandia, Los Lunas in the recent basketball poll that came out this week. And it feels like we're going to have a really good stretch there. And I didn't even talk about La Cueva or West Mesa yet, just in terms of the battle throughout the season.
Sandia's a team I absolutely love. Those guards there, Eli Lobato, Andrew Hill, Dalen Moyer, Lamarion Coleman. I don't know if another team has the starting lineup of a Sandia, and that includes Volcano Vista. I mean, I really love that starting lineup for Sandia. And I don't know how deep they are. They're going to need some role players to find themselves throughout the season. But, I mean, if you're a basketball junkie like I am, you could get a Danny Brown versus Greg Brown, Volcano Vista versus Sandia championship this year. It's definitely in the cards.
Time with Sebastian Well, ProView Networks. You got Class 4A. You mentioned Highland, and you think they probably have the best player in the state. You know, Albuquerque Academy had a good game against Trisco Heritage, pushed them until the end. Of course, your Del Norte Knights are right there. That's an interesting trio right now, early at top 4A.
You know, that's another thing. That's another key learning coming out of that Academy tournament, JJ, is the Chargers are for real. They can win 4A. There's no doubt in my mind. As a matter of fact, leaving that tournament, I am convinced that if I had to put a ranking together, I would slide them ahead of my Knights even. They're just so deep. They're a very deep team. They play with such pace. They can hit the outside shot. They can beat you with their defense as well if the outside shot's not going. You look at Highland. Highland's had some issues this last week with, I think, 5 or 6 players suspended. So I don't know if that's going to have any lingering effect throughout the season, but there is no reason to believe that Academy can't be state champs in 4A. As a matter of fact, if I was putting rankings together, I'd put them right there at the top right now. They're that good.
All right, Sebastian, what do we have on deck? What should we be looking forward to with the semesters wrapping up and then full force into January in a couple weeks?
You know, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to go a little light this week because I'm going to the New Mexico Bowl. I mean, that's just me.
See you out there on Saturday, by the way.
Yeah, that's just me speaking personally, right? So I make sure I don't have a game that Saturday. But we get a chance to watch Rio Rancho and Carlsbad this week coming up. And, Carlsbad, they came into the season, everyone kind of talking about them, saying, hey, that could be the representative from out of the metro area. And then they just get off to a dreadful start. So I get a chance to see Carlsbad in person. Excited about that, see if they're for real. Because if they're not, and if they are what their record says they are, then, the metro area is where the power's at in basketball this year. Because you look down south, Las Cruces is down. Centennial's not that great. Where is the southern representation going to come from? Or is this going to be I think we're going to have an all-metro Final Four, but it might extend even past the top 4 teams. Who knows?
Sebastian Well, ProView Networks. Check them out there. You got local focus, rolling hard, calling a bunch of games. A busy man, ProView Networks, and I always appreciate the time, man. Thanks so much.
I appreciate it, guys. Be good.
That is Sebastian Well. ProView Networks joining us here on the opening drive, and a lot of big-time hoops over the weekend, and just building that resume, taking home some tournament titles, getting to play some really good games, and Sebastian Well breaking it down, as he does always here on the opening drive. 505-246-0610. That is a 377 Brewery hotline. Last night, It might have been the last hurrah for the Los Angeles Lakers. What happened in LA? I'll let you know. It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Audible. This holiday, check out Origins, a brand new Audible original podcast featuring music.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
International Protective Services is a
Opening drive here on 95.9 FM AM 610, the Sports Animal. The Lakers last night, was that what we saw from the Lakers, Boston Celtics? It was a great game because it was a snoozer at one point. The Celtics were up 20 points. The double collapse was in full effect. Boston blows a 20-point lead. The Lakers, late in the fourth quarter, blow a 13-point lead. It goes to overtime. Celtics defeat the Lakers in 122-118. The Lakers had to have that game. It's another blown opportunity late. They storm back. The Celtics, looking at a bad West Coast road trip. All right, blew the doors off the Phoenix Suns, but then the Warriors get you. The Clippers get you. And you're sitting there feeling a little too good about yourself, and the Lakers are about to get you. Jason Tatum, though, goes superstar status, 44 points, hits a game-time bucket over LeBron James, steps up in overtime.
So fast.
At least you got a Heisman Trophy winner out there in Los Angeles. Ned James,
I know.
Quarterback Ned James. Caleb Williams, USC Heisman Trophy. Lakers are losing. The Rams ain't good. Does anyone in LA consider the Chargers an LA team? No, so we can't talk about them right there. The Dodgers, all right, you're fantastic. Yeah. You're getting beat for every free agent right now. The Lakers, when you get the best out of Anthony Davis, 37-12 in 46 minutes, 33 points from LeBron James in 43 minutes. Russell Westbrook was good in the fourth quarter. If you can't win that game, what can you win?
Yeah, I'm the only football guy in this household. Everybody loves the Lakers here in Los Angeles. I thought because their brother, son was such a football guy that everybody would enjoy watching football. But they turned the television here to the Lakers whenever the Lakers are on. And everybody was at the edge of their seats during this Laker game against Boston because, you know, everybody, of course, thinks the Lakers are going to win another championship here, even though, you know, the pundits understand that, you know, the chances are very unlikely. But we all were I had cousins here. I had my sisters here last night, and we were all watching the Lakers, and everybody was excited with the comeback. But then all of a sudden, it went to overtime. When Anthony Davis missed those 2 free throws and it went to overtime, you could just see the air was let out of the room because everyone thought, okay, we're going back to the NBA Finals until that overtime. And, you know, the old man legs showed up, and it just showed that the Lakers just not are quite there yet.
And it's, you know, one with Los Angeles, Anthony Davis looks like that dude. Like, he looks like a dude that had his heart broken. He just spent the entire summer in the gym. Like, I'm liking this Anthony Davis. He's playing good at a really high level. There's still a massive hole in this team that they don't have enough shooters to surround AD and LeBron and Russell Westbrook. So that's 2 non-shooters because LeBron, 3 of 11 from 3. We know Russ can't shoot. And when you're having to rely on Anthony Davis playing on the perimeter the whole time, that's not going to be the best for him moving forward. But what we saw last night, that finally the catalyst, because this team is going nowhere. But what they might do is just ride it out with Russ, See if somehow, some way they can sneak into the playing game, win one of those short series, playoff team. But I think it's evident, and we all know, Los Angeles Lakers are far from a championship caliber team. What you're hoping when you have the last few years of LeBron James with Anthony Davis. It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Young, here's one up off the rim. Jarek Dudahl with that shot, and Mask underneath. Defense is not there in time. Good move by Justin Mask.
Well, first.
Nice pass. That's working that flex offense right there. And there's another timeout for Coach Barella.
Montez scans the scene, finds the corner, shot is up. Ooh, there's another one. Aris, that's 9 for Aris as she's hit.
Hey, Coach Segura said there have been some injuries on preps as far as the players, so maybe playing zone right now.
Fight's 3 is good. Jackson Fight knocks it down for the left side, from the left side for the Sun Devils. They lead by 10.
They're playing.
A perfect 36 on his ACT composite. Big 3! Buried in by Dylan McCleskey.
Trifectas of her own. Fires it off down low. Campos off the glass, and there it is. Look
how quick this shot. They got a shot up in 5 seconds.
Transition 3 is up, and it's hit at the buzzer by Ian Tolingsberg.
Picture perfect execution. Ball didn't hit the ground in 5 seconds.
Ball is stolen away by Montoya. Spartans are on the break. Calb finds Trujillo. Pump fake. Trujillo was rejected by Terrell. Rebounded by Calb. Hook shot is up. It's good. 2 points for Brian Calb.
Go one-on-one, and this is good things usually happen. Oh, great.
H.A. Rivera with... I think the story in this one is the pressure defense that has turned up. They force another turnover. Calb's on the break.
Throw it down.
Calb puts it down. Brian Calb with the dunk in transition.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Not that proud of us. Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, and JJ Buck.
Free agency season is underway in college football. Whether you're looking for a head coach, an offensive coordinator, a defensive coordinator, the rumor mill is running. University of Mexico still looking for an offensive coordinator. We'll see what Danny Gonzalez wants to do at that position moving forward. National Signing Day is the 21st, so a new class of players coming in. The transfer portal, over 1,200 kids in the transfer portal right now. It is a year-to-year game. It is about NIL money. It is college free agency. But you're looking at coaching. You're looking at players. It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610. The Sports Animal, JJ Buck, Amory, our quarterback, Ned James, with you this morning. Some news that it was under the radar yesterday, and rightfully so, because the focus yesterday was about Mike Leach and Mississippi State head coach passing away at 61 years old, a legend on and off the field. And I want to get your thoughts on Coach Leach, Ned, as a quarterback, as an offensive guy. You know, the air raid system, you know, everyone's system comes from somewhere else. But, you know, he kind of brought it to the forefront of when we're talking about air raid offense and what Mike Leach does at Texas Tech, at Washington State, then there at Mississippi State. What did you think of his offense, just the presence he was in the game of college football?
Well, you know, there's been a lot of offensive, I guess, gurus come along. You had the run and shoot Mouse Davis with that whole system that was predicated on spreading out the defense and, you know, these quick passes and just, you know, kind of a little bit of a gimmicky style of offense. But then, you know, comes along this Hal Mumme, Mike Leach air raid attack where they go into shotgun and they're running all these gadgety type plays where they're trying to spread the defense out horizontally and vertically. They're trying to challenge the defense down the field with long, deep passes. They've got really speedy receivers. It's an RPO where they you know try to use the quarterback in the running game a little bit just to give him a little bit of an advantage as an extra man. But Mike Leach was definitely an innovator when it came to that style of offense. He and Hal Mumme both with just spreading out these defenses that were so used to being packed in and stopping the running game. They used the passing game as their primary weapon. There have been a lot of offenses, the Steve Spurrier system, the Dennis Erickson one-back system. A lot of these systems were predicated on trying to get the ball down the field. But these air raid guys really kind of turned it up when they turned up the tempo of the game. They sped the game up, and they were trying to get as many plays as possible ran. And they were putting the defense, they were stressing the defense in a lot of different ways with formations, with motion, with quick screens and those kind of things. And Mike Leach was very instrumental in that. It's just tragic, you know, the heart attack issue and the heart issue, because these guys are so stressed when it comes to their performance on the job. I know a lot of us have jobs that are stressful, but coaching and caring for young men and developing young men is really, really a stressful endeavor. And these coaches have got to start learning to take care of themselves a little bit better. And in this case, it was unfortunate what had happened to with Mike Leach and his heart condition.
Well, 2013, the 2013 New Mexico Bowl, Colorado State, Washington State, one of the best bowl games in the history of the New Mexico Bowl. Washington State thought they had it. Their quarterback threw 6 touchdown passes that day. Somehow, someway, the Rams come back, win that game 48-45, and it is New Mexico Bowl week. BYU, SMU, primetime TV, ABC, 5:30, University Stadium, Saturday night. The host of this show, but more importantly, the executive director of the New Mexico Bowl, Jeff Symbieta, with us. What's up, Jeff? How you doing?
I don't know. More importantly, I just listened to you guys talk about Mike, and it breaks my heart, you guys. I mean, Ned, I was listening to you talk about the innovation, all that stuff's right, and I just yesterday, just really grieving the loss of the person, and I had some time last night before I hit the pillow, and I was actually opened up my phone. I was looking through some of the texts that Mike and I have exchanged over the years, and just, I'm not gonna lie, man, I teared up. Listening to you guys talk about him, yeah, he was an innovator, he was insane, but the person that he was, and I'll remember 2013, and everybody who was involved in our game remembers it, because he sat there and talked with people, not talked at them, not celebrity status guy, asked me questions, let me tell you stories. Although he told tons of stories, whether it was about Geronimo or about the Indians or about football, whatever. But then he always would ask, what do you do? Tell me about you. And he would remember people's names, and our board, our staff, our people, our partners, the people who got to spend time with him. I took countless stories yesterday about the man he was. And you guys, 61 years old is insane. Yeah. And it was like, that one hit me, man. And JJ, you know me pretty well. Some of these recently hit me harder than others, but that one got me a little bit this week.
And that's, a hard trait to have, is to be someone that reaches out to other people. And it's, especially as you said, it's so easy when you're the most famous person in the room. You're the person that everyone wants to talk to, but reach out, say, hey, what do you do? Who are you? What is your name? And Mike Leach made a lasting impression on so many people, but that's also the beauty of the New Mexico Bowl. It is the different people, it is the different players that people have the opportunity to see and or meet this week.
Yeah, no, it was. I remember the first night he was there, and he remembered everybody's name, and his wife came in and said, "Mike, it's time to go." And he's like, "Honey, have you met?" And he rattled off the names of the people, and she says, "Michael," and he says, "Time to go, fellas." And it was time to go. And just to keep in touch with him over the years, and the kind of things that he had to say about our event, and after that game, and they lost in excruciating fashion that year. Excruciating fashion. But he came up to the post party and hung out with us, and that game was on the first game on Sports Center, and the first time they showed it, and we were up there for a while now. But he kind of walked through every play and kind of explained what happened. And then every other time it came on, he kind of turned his back and might have refilled his glass after that. It was an insane night.
He's like, I'll look at this once, and then after that, I'm done with it.
Yeah, that's how most coaches. That's how most coaches are.
Yeah, no, you get it, Ned. That's right. I'll tell you about it once, especially if I lost. I don't need to look at this mess anymore. I just lived it, and it hurt. So, that game was, I'd argue, JJ, not only one of the best games we ever had, one of the best bowl games ever.
It has to be. When you look at how that played out in the fourth quarter, it was absolutely insane. The numbers, the performances, and that's the kind of stuff you can get. New Mexico Bowl. I know you're busy, but how's it going?
I got teams on the ground. What time is it? Nine, about 4.5, 5 hours. We got teams on the ground, and tickets are moving, and I'm looking forward to it. I just, the momentum's real, and starting to feel people get excited. You know how my week goes, right? Everybody towards the end. By Friday, I shut down and I play an old Muck Stinky song. That I might not care very much. I can't help you anymore. But everybody's, I got the requests coming in and putting out little fires and get the field painted and get it all dressed up. And you guys, I love the matchup. I'm so excited about this one.
Yeah.
It's different, right? We've done it so many years, and don't get me wrong now. I love playing at noon, noon 15, noon 30 under beautiful New Mexico sunshine, and that spot on this is unbelievable, and I will fight for it again next year. The opportunity we've got on primetime this year is special. I don't know we'll ever get it again, and I'm looking forward to it.
Now, I will say, too, is this will be the best ever New Mexico post-game show because Channel 7 is going to do a sports special after the game.
Oh, and, wow.
Are they really? I did not know that.
So Channel 7 is going to do a sports special after the game, and they might have invited me on TV. So you're going to get the New Mexico Bowl and JJ Buck on Channel 7 on Saturday night.
I was going to say, are you on? You need a sports coat or anything? You need the suit? you probably wear that hoodie look that you rock, the hoodie under the sports coat. What's my guy that on Thursday Night Football, the Rams offensive lineman that just retired? Help me. Where's the hoodie under come on, man.
Whitworth or
Whitworth. Yeah, that look that you wore before him, that's going to work that night.
It is going to work because that's going to wear to the game to stay warm for a little bit, and then rock it post game. But this is awesome. You're looking at SMU. There's favorites right now, one of the highest totals of the bowl season. It's just going to be explosive on Saturday. I know you guys setting everything up, so it's going to be another great experience.
What's the total on it? Somebody told me 75, and then it came down to 60-something. And where are we at?
I'm looking at 64 right now.
All right.
I'm looking at the tape, man. It may go up to the 70s because these guys are both explosive offensively. I mean, I've watched the BYU tape, and these guys can put up points, and they're not very good on defense, either one of them. So it's going to be some point. But, it's always the opposite sometimes in these bowl games. You're expecting these high-scoring games because these guys look so good offensively, who plays and all that. But I think it's going to be an exciting game because there's just so much offense. And I'm not trying to knock the defensive coaches on both teams, but neither team is that talented defensively. But they're both really explosive offensively, and I'm looking forward to watching them.
Did you see the SMU Houston game? What was it, 77-63? It's like a 6A high school football game in New Mexico. I mean, it was bonkers, the numbers that they put up that day. So let me give you a couple quick ones. So Mike Leach started out his career playing rugby at BYU. I learned that this week. I don't think I knew that. You guys were talking about Rocky earlier, right? And I don't think he's going. All right, I kind of feel the way you do, but I wasn't surprised because recall in was it 2 years ago that Dino hired Zach Arnett to be the defensive coordinator?
I remember that.
Zach took the job for like 2 days until who hired him away? Mike Leach hired him away to Mississippi State, and now Zach is running that football program as they get ready for the ReliaQuest Bowl, which is just kind of the way it all works out. I don't know that it means anything. It's just kind of crazy the way it all circles back.
It does. It does that in football. It just circles back. It's just, we're talking about Dino and the connection Dino has with Rocky and Danny from San Diego, and Zach, the La Cueva star and UNM player, and now he's with Mike Leach and Mike Leach's impact on the college football game when it comes to spread offenses and the genius of, these guys like Lincoln Riley and the Patrick Mahomes of the world, so it's fascinating how football, it just all kind of connects, and, a lot of people are connected in a lot of different ways.
Well, Jeff,
how come when you're in a hurry, the freeway's at a dead stop?
It always is. Always is at a dead stop. Where are you at? Give it a traffic update.
Net, I'll tell you where I am. Out in Net, I feel like I'm at the 405 coming up on the 101.
There's no way. There's no way. 405 is always jammed here.
It's moving better than this right now. It's dead stop, man. I'm on that 101, 405 interchange right there. JJ loves that, man.
Yeah. Well, you can give a traffic update. We're not close to the 7s yet, but if you want to give a little heads up to people this morning.
Well, I don't know why it stopped, but I-40 going westbound is a problem. All backed up all the way behind Eubank, almost to Wanchabo.
Tractor trailers.
I don't know what the deal is, but don't get on it.
Oh, Jeff Symbieta, Bowl Director, host, Traffic Man, and we hear the sirens now. All right, man. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you this week.
All right, boys, get out there and have fun. And I look forward to see you this weekend. And I hope everybody just, look, it's going to be chilly, but don't let that keep you away from what should be a great event. Go on and get your tickets at NewMexicoBowl.com and come out and just enjoy college football and have a big party with us, because I think it's going to be a fun day. So thanks, guys. Appreciate all you're doing.
The event. Jeff Symbieta joining us on the opening drive, New Mexico, Saturday night, 5:30, University Stadium. You get plenty of time to warm up because it's an extended tailgate this year. You don't have to get out there at 7 a.m. to get tailgate for the noon kickoff. You got a 5:30 kickoff. And then you can warm yourself up in the afternoon in the stadium. Let's go. 5:05.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I mean, at 5:30 prime time, everybody will be watching. So it'll be fun.
Channel 7. And I know A-Marie is going to be locked in because the post-game show is going to be the best post-game show you've ever seen.
I can't wait.
In New Mexico Bowl history.
Is it you and Ned James?
No, it's me and Bethany Miller.
How
and the
fun.
Channel 7 crew.
Oh, Channel 7 crew?
I'm being on TV, yo.
What?
That's the post-game show I'm talking about.
Hey.
Television.
I'm watching it.
TV.
I'll tune in.
You have to clean up a little bit.
I will.
Which got you covered. We're going to be talking New Mexico. We're talking about Lobo basketball, a lot of Lobo basketball too Saturday night because Iona's in town on Sunday. Richard Pitino. You know we got you covered on that too this week. But coming up next, you heard in there us mentioning Rocky Long and maybe another job. What is that all about? We'll tell you where that came from. It is the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Come party with us for a prime.
Young, here's one up off the rim. Jarek Dudal with that shot, and Mask underneath. Defense is not there in time. Good move by Justin Mask.
Well, first.
Nice pass. That's working that flex offense right there. And there's another timeout for Coach Barella.
Montez scans the scene, finds the corner, shot is up. Ooh, there's another one. Aris, that's 9 for Aris as she's hit.
And Coach Segura said there have been some injuries on preps as far as the players, so maybe he's playing zone right now.
Fight's 3 is good. Jackson Fight knocks it down for the left side, from the left side for the Sun Devils. They lead by 10.
They're playing.
The perfect 36 on his ACT composite. Big 3! Buried in by Dylan McCleskey.
Trifectas of her own. Fires it off down low. Campos off the glass, and there it is.
With this shot, they got a shot up with 5 seconds.
Transition 3's up, and it's hit at the buzzer by Ian Kongsberg.
Picture perfect execution. Ball it hit the ground in 5 seconds.
Ball is stolen away by Montoya. Spartans are on the break. Kalb finds Trujillo. Pump fake. Trujillo was rejected by Terrell. Rebounded by Kalb. Hook shot is up. It's good. 2 points for Brian Kalb.
Go one-on-one, and this is good things usually have. Oh, great.
H.A. Rivera.
I think the story in this one is the pressure defense that has turned up. They force another turnover. Kalb's on the break.
Throw it down.
Kalb puts it down. Brian Kalb with the dunk in transition.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Rumor season. So yesterday, Adam Rittenberg, ESPN reporter, put out a tweet saying that Rocky Long, Lobos defensive coordinator, has emerged as a target for Syracuse's defensive coordinator vacancy. As Tony White left, they run the 3-3-5, and that was under the radar with everything that was going on in the college football world, but it raises the question, would Rocky Long take the Syracuse job? I know initially a lot of people were like, no, he wouldn't. But Rocky Long, a 1 to 2 year dude bouncing around getting $1 million, fixing defenses around the country. Is that crazy?
Yeah.
Is that crazy, Ned? Is it crazy?
It's a little cray-cray because when you get to a certain age, the money is not as important as a lot of people may think it would be. You're at a certain age, you have kids, you get grandkids, you have family members that are close by. You want to be in a comfortable place where, you can be close to some of those people that you love the most. And I think in this particular case, and I know how much Rocky, loves the challenge of coaching football and going up against the best. I do believe, in a lot of regards, and this is just my opinion, this is not anything I've heard from Rocky or anybody around. I just think he really appreciates what New Mexico gave him as a player, as a coach. And I think he truly and sincerely loves this place, loves the city, loves the community, and a lot of the alumni brothers. It's like myself, when you're around town, you talk to a lot of your alumni brothers, the guys that you played with, you went to school with, not even necessarily guys that you played football with, but just guys that went to UNM with you, and respect what you did, representing the university and the way you went about doing it. I think those things play a larger part as you get a little older, and when you come back, especially the way he came back. And he could have stayed at San Diego as long as he wanted to, pretty much. I think, he built something down there. He built the culture. I think he wants that culture back here at UNM. I think he saw the potential. And I think, his family enjoys it here. And so I just think that that's something that, you have to play close attention to. And I think, me being born in Syracuse, New York, and knowing why my dad left there some 50-odd years ago to come west, he woke up one morning, he saw the snow, went back inside, got in a Studebaker, and started driving west until that Studebaker broke. And I've got some stories now from that drive from Syracuse all the way to Los Angeles.
He just drove until he could not drive anymore.
Till the Studebaker broke down in Vegas, then he took a bus the rest of the way to get to California and all the job opportunities in California. And this is in the 60s, this is in the mid to late 60s. And so, it's just, the stories about how much snow it was, just the fact that he came from the deep South and went up north to Syracuse, New York. And I was like, what would make you go to Syracuse? And, it's always worked. But the fact that, hey, just the snow and going back there and visiting cousins and relatives and knowing what Syracuse is like. And I turned down a coaching opportunity at Syracuse at one point. And it was because of the weather. It was because of the weather. And I had a choice between Arizona State and Syracuse. And
who
I
was
said,
it between?
Syracuse was coming off of a national championship, a tied national championship with Auburn, and I had the opportunity. But Arizona State had come off of a Rose Bowl win against Michigan, and I had an opportunity. I had to pick between those two schools. I had just graduated, Tempe or Syracuse, yes, and Arizona State had just built their new facility, and Syracuse was building one, and the facilities didn't really have anything to do with it. And I was there with my cousins, and Syracuse had really rolled out the red carpet to try to get me to stay there because my dad had worked there, and we were from there, and they were, I'd been a quarterback, and they just loved the fact that I played quarterback, and I was going to be on offense, and they had just finished with McNabb. It wasn't McNabb, it was McPherson. I'm sorry, McPherson was the quarterback, and so it was just a whole, it was just a whirlwind. It was really kind of wild how I was able to get those two opportunities. And then finally wound up
before or after Minnesota, because I'm saying
that was before Minnesota.
Okay, I'm like,
way before
Minnesota. Minnesota doesn't seem like a paradise compared to Syracuse.
No, but this was way before. This was my first coaching opportunity ever. This was me writing letters to everybody after graduation, trying to get a job anywhere. Man, I would have flipped burgers at that point, but my roommate had talked me into just applying at all the universities, and then we talked about the fact that I was born in Syracuse, and so it was just this whole toss up between Larry Marmee became the new head coach at Arizona State, and McPherson, the older McPherson, was the head coach at Syracuse at the time, and they flew me in and everything. It was in the spring. It was really nice. They kept me there for like 4 days, just to try to get me kind of acclimated with the staff and just give me time to visit with my family, because they just thought it was a shoo-in I was going to come there, and they were
too
really
much snow.
My dad, I just remember the stories from my dad about the snow. He's like, and then the guys were telling me about.
That's the thing about recruiting. It's when they bring you in.
That's
when
right.
They have the visit.
But then the guy started explaining to me, just in December, we have a rope. This is what I was telling you about the rope. They have a rope that's tied from the campus to the housing, and you just grab onto this rope and hold on because the snow's so thick and the wind's blowing, so you don't blow away with the blizzards. And I'm just listening to him going, wait a minute, I'm coming from the West Coast. I'm coming from New Mexico, and I was finishing up school, and I'm just thinking about you telling me, and yeah, you have to be here before everybody else there. You're going to have to be here at 5 a.m. before all the coaches get here to start your work. And I'm just thinking about them. And they didn't say that when I was at Arizona State. They didn't talk about snow and ropes.
Needing a rope to get through the snow. That's and it's all part of the process. Recruiting, when you bring in those athletes,
right,
definitely matters on the recruiting visits early in the season, especially for football. That's our quarterback, Ned James. A-Marie, JJ Buck with you here on the opening drive. All right, $25 gift certificate to All In Autographs is on the line right now. The question is, this Green Bay Packers quarterback was the MVP of the 2018 New Mexico Bowl. Who is this Green Bay Packers quarterback who was the MVP, the offensive MVP of the 2018 New Mexico Bowl? That is the question. You get the answer right, you get a $25 gift certificate to All In Autographs, hooking you up this holiday season. Every winner this week also entered to win $100 on top of that. So you get yourself something very cool or something great for someone else this holiday season. 505-246-0610. You tell Amory who the offensive MVP of the 2018 New Mexico Bowl was. $25 to All In Autographs right here on The Opening Drive, 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal.
Your home for the NFL and the AB.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit.
One more days, one more chance. For all autographs hooking you up for the holidays. Who are you buying? Who are you selling? 4 games left in regular season. The NFL playoff races are hot and heavy. Look at the NFC, looking at the AFC. There is a massive game this weekend involving 2 wild card hopefuls. It's the Jets and it's the Lions. Did you think that on December 14th of the NFL season, we would be mentioning those 2 teams in the same sentence for a massive game? The Detroit Lions and New York Jets. No. And that's why the sport of football has us consumed. That is why we cannot get enough of this product, because you can make something out of nothing. Whether you're talking about coaching, roster development, the Lions hit a bunch of home runs in the draft this past season, not just with Aiden Hutchinson, their number 2 overall pick, the lineman, but you go down the list, they have linebackers contributing. They're getting their first-round pick wide receiver, Jameson Williams, healthy in the lineup. He had a big touchdown catch last weekend. But looking at this game, Detroit versus the Jets, it's a home game for the New York Jets. We'll see what conditions are like in New York this weekend, because as Ned James tells you, winter is coming.
And I want to know if Mike White is going to be playing. I know he was carded.
Banged up.
He went from
harassed
by the Buffalo Bills, but he left the stadium in an ambulance. So I hope I hope he's okay.
Yeah, they say he's going to play.
I hope he plays.
He's saying he's going to play. Now, the doctor's going to determine that, but I just think that he's just done a remarkable job. It's going to be tough. Detroit can run the ball, so I'm not expecting them to have that much of a problem with the Jets, even though the Jets have a good defense. The issue is going to be on the other side. Can Mike White put up enough offense to get them past this, I think, really bad Detroit Lions defense? And so if that's the case, then it's going to be a tough task for Detroit going into New York to win that game. And the Jets are a little desperate. In Detroit, they're starting to feel themselves a little bit. I don't know if they have enough, but I do like Jared Goff.
But I know you do.
I do like Jared, but I think going to New York, it's winter. It's going to be cold. They're going to have to run the ball. I think this Mike White guy is just going to tough it out. He's going to take an injection in the ribs just to get him through the game. If he can get through this game, it's going to be a close game. It should be a really good game. But I expect the Jets, because of their strong defense, to maybe prevail in this one. I don't know if the Detroit's favored, but I just think the Jets' defense is a little bit better than people give them a little credit for.
This is a huge one. You look at the final 2 games for the Jets. Their division, they're at Seattle and at Miami. So tough trips there for New York. They have Jacksonville, and who knows what Jaguars team is going to show up week in and week out with what we've seen out of Trevor Lawrence and Doug Peterson this season. That's a huge game, because right now the Lions, everyone loves them.
They're hot right now.
They're hot.
It's good to be hot. It's good to be hot in December. But going back to the AFC, JJ, I think for the Jets, obviously it's important, and I think they can win. And as long as the Lions, this is gonna be the game of the week. I'm very excited about this game. But the Chargers, I think more importantly, the Chargers are slightly in front of the Jets. And are the Chargers gonna charge it? Are they gonna keep being the Chargers?
The schedule.
Are they gonna keep being the Chargers?
They're the. I'm buying the stock.
You're buying the stock.
I'm buying the Chargers.
I didn't expect them to be in the hunt. I expected them to be in the playoffs.
In the playoffs, they will be a playoff team, and you will not want to play the Chargers in the first round. I'm telling you that right now. The schedule is so favorable. It's Tennessee, the paper tiger. Someone texted in, do you believe in the Titans? No, I do not believe in the Titans.
Like, the Patriots are in right now, and I believe more in the Chargers and the Jets than I do the dang Patriots.
Jeff Saturday's Colts. The Chargers should win that game. The Rams and Baker Mayfield, one drive wonders.
Oh, no.
The Denver Broncos and
Baker, the touchdown maker. Don't sleep on Baker.
Now or
like
never
Baker Mayfield.
for Brandon Staley and Justin Herbert. If they cannot make the playoffs with that schedule, overcoming what they've had to overcome to get to this point, they're cleaning house.
And as for the Lions,
and they should,
yeah,
and that they should with the Chargers, because this was a team that was a playoff team with the previous guy, with Lynn as the coach, Anthony Lynn, and they bring in the boy Wonder, and he's a defensive guy, and he's supposed to tighten up this defense that's loaded.
Mm-hmm.
They're loaded on defense. I like their running back. Their running back's a tough guy. I kind of like Eckler guy. He's not bad. But when you get late in this season, I know everyone's on. Justin Herbert just needs to get fitted for the Hall of Fame jacket because everybody's got him in the Hall of Fame already. They've got to be able to do some things because they've got the talent on defense. They can run the ball. They should get into the playoffs. They should. I'm not going to say they are, but they should get into the playoffs.
If they cannot make the playoffs with that schedule in front of them, that will be a disaster in the season. As much of a struggle it's been to get to this point for the Chargers. Because New England, who's sitting there in the 7th spot right now, they get Vegas this weekend. They play Cincinnati, Miami, and Buffalo. That shouldn't be a favorable schedule for the Patriots. So it opens the door for the Chargers in that case.
With Mo and Joe as the offensive coordinator in New England. That's the thing. That's the killer. People, you can say whatever you want. This is a head coach who has assembled a staff that no one in America likes. No one in America thinks is competent enough to win NFL games. And he's sneaking them quietly into the playoffs. It's probably the best story of the year that no one's really talking about because they hate Belichick so much and they hate the New England Cheaters so much. No one's talking about that story. You can say what you want, but it's
the best story so
they
far.
Got in with a rookie quarterback last year.
They did.
And this is the second year. And then they drafted his replacement in the 4th round. And they're still playing the way they're playing. So it's them and the Chargers. We just have to keep an eye on them, the New England team
Miami?
and the Chargers.
The pressure that's on the Dolphins now.
Yeah.
We knew it was going to be a tough road trip, but you didn't think that on Sunday Night Football the Chargers were going to be able to do that to them defensively like San Francisco was. And now the Dolphins are at Buffalo this weekend, and they could go from a team that we thought was a shoo-in playoffs to for MVP to all of a sudden being in a race for their playoff lives.
That's what gives me hope with the Chargers because they look so good on defense. I don't really care about Herbert as much. I like the little running back, and I like the defense. And I like the little running back who's tough, and I like the defense. The defense, the way that defense played against Tua. If that defense shows up every week, the Chargers will be a hard out.
505-246-0610. Bruin James, you want to get in on the opening drive? What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, good morning. I was I was at the athletic department in UCLA the other day, and I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were talking, and signing days in February, right? For
next week.
Recruits.
First one is next week, actually.
There's 2 signing dates.
Well, anyway, and I was asking him, the kid, the 5-star quarterback, they're looking at, or if he wants to sign with UCLA, whatever. And I was like, there's a couple kids in the IE that, are pretty good. And are they looking at them? He said, no. He goes, they're not, because what they're going to start doing is looking at kids in the transfer portal. They'll rather recruit there than go get a kid in high school and recruit. So a kid could come in and he's already ready rather than grooming a kid that's a freshman and getting used to going to class and things of that sort. So I was kind of like, really? He goes, yeah, we're gonna emphasize more on transfer portal recruits than we are high school recruits. So I was like, man, this whole transfer portal is changing the whole how you recruit and do everything, and that's crazy. And I was just like, wow, I never thought.
It's a different world now. Bruin James, because even the power programs are doing that. They're looking at the portal. There are a lot of starting quarterbacks in the transfer portal right now, like guys that have won games at the Division I level. It's not just dudes who are upset because they didn't win a job and they didn't get an opportunity. Like, the portal is insane right now. And the reason it's insane is because of NIL deals. Dudes are looking for the next best one.
They're looking for the next best dollar. And I talked to Osiris from Florida the other day because his offensive line coach from high school. This kid was 300 pounds in the 8th grade. And he went to a small college, USL. Then he became a big star. $30,000 a month. He played offensive guard. You're going to have a salary cap guy or a GM in your recruiting office if you're going to be able to handle this NIL portal stuff. People are looking the other way, saying, oh, it doesn't matter, we're out recruiting. I laughed when I heard that we had a recruiting coordinator this summer. I laughed because there's no such thing as a recruiting coordinator. Everybody knows who the good players are. It's just, can you afford them? Can you pay the price? And that's the thing that's going to happen. And it's just
it's
all over the place.
Then you look at
because it's state laws.
Yeah,
every state is different.
Yeah, and that's a challenge because there's no uniform law that each school is playing by. Do you have the biggest boosters? Do you have the guys that put the programs together enough? And that's why if you're Colorado, hiring Deion Sanders makes a ton of sense because it's about year after year. And Deion Sanders, yeah, you're not looking at him being at Colorado for 15 seasons. If he's at Colorado 3 or 4 years, he's going to be bringing in a ton of attention. He has these recruits' attention. He's going to be hitting the transfer portal. That's what Deion Sanders does to Colorado. He wins in an NIL era.
Yeah, but this is a whole different segment or two, JJ, because we lost 2 defensive players in Wilson and Halsey into the portal. At what price? They're just average players, if you ask me. Wilson and Halsey, even though Halsey was an All-American, freshman All-American, and Wilson developed, he had a good. But I mean, who's to say that it wasn't because of the system they were in? I mean, are these guys really Power 5 guys? Are these guys really $30,000 a month guys? I mean, we're going to find out.
Yeah. And that's where life comes at you fast too, because the amount of Jews that enter the portal, the grass is not always greener on the other side. It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
And I have to tell you about 377 Brewery, guys. I've been telling you about it, and it's perfect during the holiday season for you to visit. It's named after the flight wing at Kirtland Air Force Base. It's on the northwest corner of Yale and Gibson. You got to get out there. I have to tell you about 377 Brewery. It's the best brewery in town. 377 Brewery is named after the flight wing at Kirtland Air Force Base. It's located on the northwest corner of Yale and Gibson. So it's right around the corner from the pit, and it's a perfect place to pregame or postgame. There's a huge game on Sunday. We got son and dad game going against each other. I know you guys are going to go out and pack the pit and support the Lobos. But before or after, you got to hit up 377 Brewery. It's a great mix of European-style beers and an award-winning kitchen. It's great also for holiday parties or just hanging out. Come there also for live stand-up comedy and live music. Open every day from 11 to 11, except for Sundays when it closes at 10. Check them out at 377brewery.com.
This
Young, here's one up off the rim. Jarek Dudahl with that shot, and Mask underneath. Defense is not there in time. Good move by Justin Mask.
Well, Bert.
Nice pass. That's working that flex offense right there. And there's another timeout for Coach Bardella.
Montez scans the scene, finds the corner, shot is up. Ooh, there's another one. Aris, that's 9 for Aris as she's hit.
Hey, Coach Segura said there have been some injuries on preps as far as the players, so maybe playing zone right now.
Fights three is good. Jackson Fight knocks it down for the left side, from the left side for the Sun Devils. They lead by 10.
They're playing.
A perfect 36 on his ACT composite. Big three! Buried in by Dylan McCleskey.
Trifectas of her own. Fires it off down low. Campos off the glass, and there it is.
Quick this shot. They got a shot up with 5 seconds. Transition threes up, and it's in at the buzzer by Ian Tonsberg. Picture perfect execution. Ball that hit the ground in 5 seconds.
Ball is stolen away by Montoya. Sartans are on the break. Calb finds Trujillo. Pump fake. Trujillo was rejected by Terrell. Rebounded by Calb. Hook shot is up. It's good. 2 points for Brian Calb.
Go one-on-one, and this is good things usually happen. Oh, great.
H.J. Rivera.
I think the story in this one is the pressure defense that has turned up. They force another turnover. Calb's on the break.
Throw it down.
Calb puts it down. Brian Calb with the dunk in transition.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
You ready for Thursday Night Football tomorrow? Breaking down San Francisco and Seattle. Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. The final pick of the draft coming in.
It's a great story. That's a great story.
Beating Tom Brady.
I know. Beating
that
Brady.
was on my list,
Brady.
by the way.
Right, Ned?
Yeah.
No, it's the New England Cheaters.
Tom the Cheater Brady.
I love it.
Oh, don't get us started on inflated footballs this morning. We're too close to the
I
end.
know.
We're going to end on
I know.
this morning. Tom Brady is on my list of disappointments.
It's a 2-minute warning.
They're leading a poor division. They're going to be a playoff team. They're going to host probably the Dallas Cowboys in the first round. But what in the world with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, how are they that poor offensively? Is it really just an offensive line issue? Has Tom Brady actually regressed some just in his overall play? He's running Mike Evans out there. Chris Godwin's gotten better as the season has gone on, coming back from his knee injury.
Yeah.
You have two competent running backs. Like on the list of disappointments that we've talked about this morning, Tom Brady has to be on the list because that team does not look better without Bruce Arians on the sideline.
Right. And I think it speaks to what we talked about earlier. It's the culture of the organization. It's not necessarily just one side of the ball or offensive line. Everybody's got beat up offensive linemen. Everyone's got, their issues with, a certain particular player on defense or special teams or what have you. I think it's more of a cultural issue. I'm looking at Brady when he comes off to the sideline and he's with, the offensive coordinator, and it seems like, who's the boss? And that's what college guys make fun of pro guys about. They'll tell you in a heartbeat, well, are the quarterbacks running the team or is it the head coach? Because of how much money they're making in their status. That's a cultural issue in Tampa. Todd Bowles is not the coach of the defense. He is the head coach of special teams, of the defense, and the offense. And he doesn't carry himself that way. He's got to take control of this offense. He's got to be responsible for what's happening offensively. It's not Tom Brady. It's not Leftwich, who's the coordinator. It's the head coach. You could point to things. This is a strong team. I like him because the running back. I like Fournette. He's a big back. I like big backs. He's going to be important down the stretch. He's going to be important as it gets colder and guys get tired of tackling big, heavy guys. It's one of those things. And defensively, they're okay. I just don't like them defensively. I just think Tampa's defense is just that.
They've been really beat up, but that's when you look at who's stepping up. And it feels like the offense should have helped them more throughout this season to try to overcome some of those deficiencies. Because that's the sport, man. It's adjustments. It's stepping up. It's trying to cover some of your deficiencies. Yeah, Tampa Bay sitting there 6-7 overall. The advantage they have is they're 3-1 in the division. But you know who's 3-1 in the division and has beat them? The Carolina Panthers. And that's why when we talk about these playoff races over the last 4 weeks, you got to mention the Carolina Panthers because of that division race. And they'll see the Buccaneers in 3 weeks. And for Carolina, it's Pittsburgh, then it's the Detroit Lions, and then it is Tampa Bay and New Orleans. So there's an opportunity for Steve Wilks and Sam Darnold.
And you kind of root for Steve Wilks. How they did him in Arizona with the Cardinals, you kind of root for Steve Wilks.
Your boy Josh Rosen did him in, Ned.
No, Rosen actually didn't play bad. It's just that
Josh
they wanted
Rosen
to make
has
a change.
A Super Bowl ring, don't forget.
Yeah, but I didn't think he played particularly bad as a rookie. He didn't play particularly bad as a rookie. Yeah. But I just thought that, to get rid of a guy after one season, I mean, it wasn't that bad a season. With a rookie quarterback starting, I thought was a little disingenuous with the Bidwell family, but they're getting what they asked for. Ooh. Yes, I'm coming in hard with the Cardinals.
Maybe we'll find out if Nathaniel Hackett is going to be in one and done. Coach, all right.
You can only hope, JJ.
A. Marie.
Yes.
You're leaving us.
I am leaving you.
Just for vacation.
I'm
just for not to scare you.
Gosh, don't scare anyone.
No, I was scared. You scared me.
No.
She's going on vacation.
I'm going on vacation.
Because they are hitting the biggest game of the weekend.
Oh.
Colts at Vikings.
I don't like it.
You're going to be in attendance.
Saturday.
I will be.
Oh,
Saturday. Great. Kevin O'Connell, let's go.
Yeah.
You're going to be in Minnehaha.
Minnehaha, they're getting 7 inches of snow tomorrow, so wish me luck. So all you New Mexico Bowl people, I don't want to hear it. It's going to be -4 while I'm there, so enjoy this nice football weather, even though Minnesota's indoors. Very excited about this game. And look out for me on TV. This is why I don't like it. It's on national television, which the Vikings thrive under.
Yeah, it's NFL Network.
I love Minneapolis. One of my favorite cities, Minneapolis.
Me too. I'm half my family. I'm half from there, so it's our little pre-Christmas holiday treat.
Enjoy it.
Thank
Minnesota.
you. I'll miss you guys. I'll miss you guys. I'll be watching you on TV, though, on ABC, the New Mexico Bowl, baby.
Let's get it. Ned, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Appreciate you.
See you tomorrow, brother. Yes.
In there on Thanks Sebastian. Well, ProView Networks joining us
Thank you,
this
Emery.
morning. We got the Jim Rome Show coming up next. Colin Cowherd. And then we have 2 Man On with the boys starting at 4 o'clock. Everybody, Medal of Peace and Love. Have a great day.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.